Alright, so after getting the front end buttoned up, I decided to put on a ram bar. Actually, it's not really a ram bar at all, but I just thought that it wouldn't hurt to add some structure to the front end and to keep those clips, in line. I'm not doing a bumper on this. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I bought a bumper in case I was because when I first bought this car, I was planning on slamming it, and maybe bagging it, and I was gonna, put the bumpers back on, and in my right mind, I didn't think for, the life of me I was going to be building a gasser. I thought that they were weird, and I didn't really appreciate them the way I do now. But being obsessed with history, and by the way, if you guys are interested in history as well, I'm not trying to promote my other work, but I have another YouTube channel called Joey Underground, and it's just Joey_Underground, where I film abandoned or historic locations. But anyway, I'm obsessed with history. I do racetracks. I just recently did a abandoned NASCAR track. But I love history, and I love, gassers are a huge part of racing history, or car culture, and just car history in general. They would take these cars, these post-war, and then they were the fastest. They make these cars go, 9 seconds in the quarter mile, with just gasoline. They weren't ran on alcohol. I'm not going to get into the history of gassers, but being someone who's been into the 40s and 50s, and 60s, I really appreciate, the drag racing, just old-fashioned drag racing. Not, I'm not really into the alcohol cars or the funny cars. Nothing against them, and I'm definitely not into newer cars. As you know, not knocking them. To each their own, and I think it's, I wouldn't hate on anybody who's into, newer style cars by any means, but I drive a newer car. I have a Jeep that I drive during the day because it's reliable. I wouldn't rely on these cars, to go to work and back daily, or to go long distances. There's always something you need to adjust or work on, which is great. But so I'm not a hater against, new cars, but I love gassers. And when it dawned on me that I was going to build a gasser, it was actually, my friend Ricky's dad who mentioned, maybe you ought to, turn it into a gasser. They're saying that would be a cool car for a gasser. And then, Ricky's saying, well, yeah, look up the straight axles on Speedway Motors and blah, blah, blah. And I was hooked. Since then I was completely hooked. And I'm so obsessed with, I don't get me wrong, I love lowriders, and I love any car looks better lowered, in my opinion. I think that lowering a car or a truck, you can't go wrong. And growing up, I would have been like, man, why would anyone lift the front end of a car? I just didn't understand it. I got that it was the weight transfer, but I still was like, I just didn't want to drive around a race car. But the older I get, the more I understand the history and everything, I'm hooked on it. So this project today, it's not a real crazy one, but it's just adding some structural integrity to the car. And I feel like if I ever mount like a keg style gas tank on the front, like a barrel style gas tank, if I really go that far out with the look of the gasser, I can mount it to this bar, and I can also build off this. I'm really not sure why I'm even doing it. I just felt like it needed it, to be honest. Don't ask me why, because I don't know what I'm doing at all. I just figured that it would, like it, but all in all, you know, this is just, I don't even know what gauge this is. It's pretty heavy, you know, galvanized steel, but it ends up working out. And, you know, for a project that took, you know, 30 minutes, you know, why not? And it didn't cost any money, so it's just, you know, a piece of pipe that I found. But basically, I had to prep the area. I didn't know, like, those front clips are kind of bent up, you know, a little bit. Like, it's not that they're bent up, they are, but they're kind of, from me bending it back, you know, the one is a little lopsided. So but they're definitely equal space apart, and they're where they need to be. So I figured this would keep them where they need to be, and so it would help it from, you know, from one side moving or anything like that. I just welded it in from the outside, and, you know, the best I could. And I got some, you know, good welds on the inside where I could, but like I said, this isn't going to be used as a bumper. Like, this isn't going to be used to save my life. It wasn't even really necessary to put on, but I figured it looks nice too, which you'll see momentarily. But by the way, anyone watching these videos, I really appreciate it. Like I said before, I don't really get anything out of it. Like, as far as money goes, like, I don't make any money off of this channel. I do have over 1,000 subscribers now, but it's not making any money. I don't get enough views to make any money. So this is just for fun. And as I say in many of my videos, I have to add in almost every one because I don't want anyone to get it twisted. This is not an instructional, you know, video. None of these are. Don't do what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is just all trial and error and fun. If I screw up, it's my life, it's my mistake, my money. I don't want to ruin anyone else's life by doing, you know, someone could get hurt by doing these ideas. You know, someone could spend a lot of money and waste a lot of money by doing this the wrong way, and I don't even know if I'm doing it right. But I love the input, and I love when you guys, you know, comment and tell me what's up. You know, I had a guy comment on a video the other day and tell me that, you know, my steering rods, which I wouldn't have even known this, but I noticed that in a lot of the pictures of straight axles and hooking the steering up, that they only have the long rod, the right hand rod going across, like the passenger side rod going across. The short rod that goes to the driver's side front wheel is usually not there in pictures. Like, I don't see them in the pictures, and that's you can ruin your steering if you hit a bump with that short on. So ultimately, a guy commented and gave me some good advice, and that's what I need, guys. Trust me, I need a lot of help with this. I am completely going into this blind. I don't know anything, and when someone gives me a positive comment and tells me, like, hey man, you got to do this, or you should do that, I take it in full consideration, and I will most likely apply it to the project. And I won't take credit for coming up with it on my own if I didn't. So I really appreciate it, you know, letting me know what's up, because I don't claim to be a car builder or a hot rodder. I mean, I love hot rods and I love everything about this, you know. Even outside of working on cars, like I you know, I'm gonna sound like a child here, but like, I love the movies, I love the music, I just love, I've always have since I was a small child, and I've never strayed away from it. And, you know, I never dreamed that I would own, you know, the cars that I do today, but I'm very grateful for it. And I don't want to pay someone to work on it. I don't want to pay somebody or beg someone to come over here and do something for me. Like, I like to dive in, as you see, and get it done, whether it's right or wrong. You know, that's the only way I'm going to learn. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and my work is very iffy, to say the least. And but I guess I'll learn. If my wheel falls off, I'll know what I did wrong. But hopefully I just don't, you know, have anything catastrophically go wrong to where I get hurt too badly. But I am, you know, I'm not that out of it. Like, I am gonna have, you know, people that do know what they're doing look everything over, like, before I go forward with, you know, it's not like I'm gonna take this out dragging it, you know, without having a second opinion, or I have the right people in my life that might be able to stop by and give me some advice, you know, but I just try not to bother them too much. All I really wanted to do today was get this prepped and ready for the engine, because that's coming next. The engine and the transmission are coming next, and then I guess the order of things that I can tell you is the engine and transmission need to go in the drive shaft, and then I can weld up the rear end, the perches on the rear end, but I didn't want to do that until I get the engine and transmission and drive shaft in, obviously. And then when that's done, I'm going to do the rocker panels and the floor, because I have to build around, you know, the transmission and all that. I don't want to do the tunnel without knowing exactly where it's all going to be. So, you know, with my very limited knowledge of this, you know, having never done it before, and even if I had, I would have, you know, it's different on a 1948. I'm just doing my best. That's kind of the you know, list of the order of how it's going to go. And then I'm going to deal with the interior and all that, and I'm going to button some last minute things up. But yeah, I'm hoping that's finished product. Like, I'm just ready to drop the engine. I'm hoping, though, that if this is all right and my guy comes over and looks at it this Wednesday and gives me the go-ahead, I'm hoping that, I'm not going to promise anything, but I'm hoping that the next episode, you know, you're going to possibly see an engine get mocked up in here. And that's what I'm really psyched about. I mean, that's what's really keeping me going on this project. I think once I see an engine mocked up in here and a transmission, I don't even know how I'm going to act to see that all come together. It's going to be a really, really happy day for me. And it'll give me that last bit of motivation to continue on with the project. Not that I'm not motivated. I'm going to keep going no matter what, but stay tuned for the next one.